Okay, ready. Hey Virgo, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for March and April for your relationships. I'm really excited to be here with you guys, and we're going to read with 3 decks for your relationships with other signs for the month of March and April. I'm super excited to be here with you guys, and I'm going to first do the astrology, and then later we're going to do a full tarot reading for all signs for Virgo. So it's how you are going to relate to other signs, the misses and the hits over the next 2 months. I'm pretty excited to show you guys this. It's a series I'm premiering on the show. Let me know in the comments if you want to see it again. I haven't seen anybody else do this before, so hey. So yeah, I like that. Okay, hold on. I just got to get you guys rolling here with the chart and then we'll begin. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. So let's start with the astrology. So this is your astrology, Virgo. We're first taking a look at the 6th of March, which is today or tomorrow, right? And this is when a lot of shifts happen into Aries, which is your 8th house, change and transformation. And both Mercury and Venus will move into this area of your chart. Aries are going to promote you to change, and particularly regarding love. So if you're dealing with an Aries, there's a really good chance that they're going to try to force you to talk about it. They're going to try to make you change a certain way, change something about your life. There's going to be that kind of pedal to the metal energy. You have to move on something, and Aries is going to put that pressure. Pisces has a massive stellium in your 7th house. So there's a true reflection with your relationship with Pisces. Sometimes it is showing you the most difficult things that you have to see, and sometimes it's showing you the blessings. I feel as though with Venus and Chiron and the Sun here and Neptune, a lot of this is healing energy. It's not meant to be discursive or critical. I think that it's meant to be holistic and compromising and kind, right? And so we have in the 3rd house also in Scorpio energy that supports this framework. So it's the Scorpios for you at this time at the beginning of March reflect the whole completion of your being. So before I get too into the astrology, watch your March video, the first one. I explain all the transits there, including this, but that's how Aries and Pisces and Scorpio relate to you at the beginning of the month. In fact, your transits are pretty good for most, with the exception of some Leos that could trigger antagonistic experiences with Scorpio and Pisces, especially if you're dealing with a Leo on like a spiritual level. It doesn't mean that you have to deal with them about spiritual things, but if you're dealing with them like on a spiritual level, like whatever you're doing with them, if it has the framework of spirit attached to it in some way, it can just, we'll talk about it once we get there, but I think it might not be so hot. Okay, and it's not going to be good at the end of April either. Leo is going to be under a square, so I'm going to show you guys what happens at the end of April, okay? So that's your first transit. On the 17th, we have the new moon in Pisces. So we already had begun this. I think that there will be a lot of positive reconciliation and positive mirroring also going on with your Pisces relationships. I do think that it's to do with healing, because Chiron is finishing its transit of Pisces. So things are really coming to that transit's coming to an end. So we're fishing out the best lessons, the best survival skills. Yes, in that will be challenges, but for the majority of which there's going to be positivity, okay? And then we have on the 31st. On the 31st, we have a full moon in Libra. So this is where your relationships with Libra will take a significant impact on you. Libras will be both helpful and difficult. So you're going to get a little bit of both. You're going to get some that, and this was a part of a channeled message. It's either payoff time or it's going to be like accountability time, especially with regard to financial issues. But through this full moon in Libra, you have supportive energy from your Leo friends, from your Aries friends, from Aquarians, and from Libras. Maybe a more difficult situation to do with money and Capricorns. Mars moves into Capricorn, so things are going to get more intense. This is in your 5th house, so it has to do with passion, the things you love, the things you want in life. And so there's going to be a little bit of a push, and I think Capricorn energy is going to be somewhat demanding on you, Virgo. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Capricorn in March and April, but actually throughout 2018, 2019, and 2020, this is going to be a big thing. Although this year, Capricorn energy could be somewhat off the cuff, so kind of not what it's meant to be, like not what it's going to be. Some of the darker things can come out with that Lilith transit, okay? And then also on the 31st, so right between March and April, we have Venus moving into Taurus in your 9th house. Beautiful transit. You're going to have 3 weeks with your Taurus. If you're dating a Taurus, or if you're in a relationship with a Taurus, this is golden times, golden years, beautiful things. And then also when Uranus moves into Taurus in May, you're going to feel even more connected. Uranus is going to dip back into Aries into next year. But for the time being, I think that your relationships with Taurus relationships are going to get really, really strong and really supportive and nice, okay? So if I'm not mentioning the person you love, their sign or whatever, that just means there's no triggering transits, you know, so you just want to go back to your generic kind of, interpretations of relationships that you can find. I'm kind of framing the relationship right now based on the current transits, the current astrology, and it does really vary based on your entire chart. So it's a general idea, a general guide for you guys. On April 15th, so now we're getting into April, we have a new moon in Aries. So once again, this is when the push on you to change certain things is going to be really strong. Like hope, opportunity, hopefully it's of the high vibration capacity, but it can also be like a reckoning also. So you need to be cautious with that, particularly if you let a Capricorn push you off center, off kilter, a sun, moon, or rising. Don't let them do that, because then that can be like quite a negative interaction between the consequences of your interactions with a Capricorn and the consequences that you'll have to deal with an Aries, and vice versa. So just be patient with the balance in that situation. And finally, we have the full moon in Scorpio. So this is a mixed bag, to be honest, Virgo. Overall, Scorpio transits are good for you. Scorpio and Virgo is actually signs that really align well. They open up opportunities for one another. Virgos allow Scorpios a way to connect with the world, while Scorpios help Virgos self-identify in the world, so project the completion of their being. So they sort of have the ability to help us, present ourselves as a kind of complete package, rather than all these different details that are somewhat sparse or separated. So usually Scorpio relationships are good, and usually Scorpio transits, like a full moon or a new moon, is great for Virgo. But in this case, I would be cautious somewhat, particularly with Scorpios born closer to October. So in the first week of Scorpio, maybe the second week, into the first week of November, be a little cautious. Likewise, be cautious with Leos and Tauruses and Aquarians at the end of April 29th. That is going to be a time when there's a grand cross on the fixed signs. They're not going to be at their best it's a time to back away if you're not in those signs, because you're going to be in a whole bunch of energy that may be distracting to the prosperity of your relationship, okay? That doesn't mean bad things will happen, and we'll see in the tarot in just a moment the good things that can come out. And in fact, some of the challenges can produce resolution to you and a Capricorn. So there's just a lot of intense energy that's being held by only a couple signs. The majority of the energy is in Capricorn and Aries, and in March the majority of the energy is in Pisces. So we're kind of shifting between real focal points, and those people with strong transits in those signs are going to carry forward those energies more. Venus moves into Gemini in the last week of April as well. So Gemini and Virgo are square, but I feel as though Geminis can help you pinpoint kind of efficiency issues, or things that you have to, the way that you have to apply yourself, or the way that you have to kind of fall into routine, those kinds of things. And I think that hopefully that you can bring that to a positive vibration rather than a detriment one or a negative one. So hopefully this is a positive, blessing. Like, hopefully it's a positive blessing for you that allows for catharsis and closure, rather than getting involved in something that is associated with reconciling energy. I'm trying to find the right words. So like I did for all the other signs, it's time for your tarot reading for each sign with Virgo. First, we start with your sign, Virgo with Virgo. So we're going to pick the Romance Angels. Okay. So here is your card, Retreat. Ooh, Virgo with Virgo not getting along. Okay. Now this may be somewhat different than the astrology. I'll try to link it for you, but it may just be a little bit different. It's time to disconnect from the world. The retreat can be together, like, hey, let's get away from it all, that kind of thing. Okay. Okay, so let's pick 3 Lenormand cards. Oops. We had the fish in the tree upright randomly. I don't know if you guys want to honor this, but we have the fish, the tree, and the tower. Virgo with Virgo starting good business. There we go, together. But let me just pick 3 cards so nobody gets upset. I mean, usually somebody gets upset. So regardless if we're Virgos or not. Let's see. Okay. So we have the stork, the fish, and the moon. Okay, change of business plans. Again, the same kind of message coming through. Change and shift. Maybe retreat doesn't mean running away, but maybe changing your approach to a relationship with a Virgo. At the bottom, I have the 8 of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo. It's ruled by the Sun in Virgo. So yeah, different approach to a situation. Just kind of think out of the box if you're dealing with a Virgo. Approach it a different way and you'll be very successful. Page of Rods, again, the same message coming through over and over again. 8 of Cups, that kind of retreat message. And the Devil. So there could be some avoidance issues with your Virgo. And in particular, anything that involves Capricorn energy will be really riled up. There could be actually competition between you and another Virgo for a Capricorn. But if you don't already know about it, most likely that's nothing to do with it, but just Capricorn energy, desire, passion. It's your 5th house, desire, passion, the things that you want, the things that you want to kind of live without accountability for, the fun things in life, you know. They may be a way for you to avoid certain questions. I feel like maybe you want to begin a certain type of journey, but you're really questioning whether to begin a new journey or whether you're going to in some way back out. And I feel like end of April is going to leave you in that state with Virgos. Backing off of something that you wanted. because you don't see a way through yet. That doesn't mean it's over. It just means it's going to be on pause. So next, Libras and Virgos. So there's that Libra full moon that happens in March 31st. So it's a blue moon. And it's a touch and go energy. Remember, it can be a little bit good, a little bit bad. And you already know on this day already what the situation is. So we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay, so it could be better. It could be like you are identifying within one another, you know, skills and qualities that you want to team up for. Libras are really good with Virgos for financial reasons. They push us to do things that are counter to our own nature so that we do the things that lead us to financial success. It's a type of inspiration. You don't have to be partnered up with your Libra to get that, but to have Libra friends around is really helpful, like on the whole. Sometimes it can be a very stressful relationship, particularly if your aspects with the Libra aspects are 45 degrees apart. That's called a semi-square, right? So this is where Virgo and Libra get kind of iffy, but Virgo's born at the beginning of Virgo and Libra's born at the end of Libra start forming sextiles, which are very good. So we'll talk about that more in just a second with Scorpio, but maybe some of you early August Virgos are forming relationships with people who are Libras, who are born in October. And so that can be popping off at this time. And then we have the fox, sly little fox rider. Okay. Virgos and Libras can see through the bullshit really, really quick. So if there's a fox that's trying, if you're friends and then there is a fox in the midst, then they get weeded out really quick, really quick. There's no room. I feel like somebody, the coffin is, you're avoiding trouble. That's the main message. You're avoiding trouble in an unnecessary direction. There is, whoever it is that is soliciting trouble is getting stopped in their tracks. Hanged Man, the Tower, a plan of change of plans and an enlightenment period. So change of plans, waiting for the right time to happen, maybe hoping that something will come through. But I feel as though it's a part of a larger life lesson for you and your Libra. New people coming in to, in some way, problematize or in some way make more complex the situations that you're dealing with. Yes? Okay. All right, so who are we on to next? We have Scorpio. Okay, so Virgo and Scorpio. There's a Scorpio full moon at the end of April. Okay, so we talked about the positives and the negatives. Scorpios are not going to be at their best at the end of April. There's going to be a pressure and tension on them. They're going to be stressed out, but not as bad as, let's see, Capricorns aren't going to be doing too great. And a double stress point is, no, I think it's pretty even across the signs. Sorry about that. Leos are going to be super stressed out, I would say. So are Scorpios. So yeah, Leo and Scorpio, a little bit more stressed than Taurus and Aquarius, who you get along with for the most part. But at the end of April, maybe not so much. So we have the honeymoon. Remember, the tarot can be different than the astrology. So enjoy the bliss of a holiday time together. You're taking a retreat. The honeymoon period. And then maybe we'll see what the other cards bring, right? Let's see. We have the man, okay, with the periscope. Okay. I love this card. So this is the Dreaming Way Lenormand. And we have the commitment card. Ooh, the ring. And then we have a child. Okay. So maybe one person is immature in the situation. Maybe it's you, Virgo. Or maybe it's one person is immature in the situation, not it's maybe so there's it's not quite, the situation's not quite ready for a more serious commitment, and I feel like one person is immature, so you're doing the next best thing and taking some kind of like romantic situation, creating a romantic situation for you and your partner. If you're planning, you could be planning a romantic situation up to the end of April. And I would say be cautious, because in the last week of April, if you're planning, the Scorpio is going to go through some heavy at the end of April. And so when you are planning, then you can get kind of dumped on right at the end of the month. Not dumped, but dumped on. So we have the Hierophant and the Two of Rods. Deliberating options. If you're with a Scorpio, there could be solicitation. And what I mean solicitation, I mean somebody could be asking someone else to marry them. It could be you, Virgo. There could be a Taurus who is involved in some way in the situation. Sorry about me shifting, my hips hurting. Okay, so it could be a Taurus who is involved in a situation, but I feel as though somebody is really contemplating marriage or a more formal relationship. I do feel as though, I do feel as though somebody's paying attention and they are contemplating a more serious relationship to say something, but I feel like there could be a trip that is taken in order to further figure things out. So, like, let's go away together so that we can figure out what the nature of the situation is. So maybe you two will decide to do something like this. And then we have Sagittarius. Okay, so as a Virgo, but I'm a Virgo Leo, so I really admire Sag. I think that often though, I feel like me and my Sag friends are on a different page. And I don't know if you feel that way as a Virgo. Depending on your other transits, I really like Sages. I really like Sagittarius as a sign, as people in general. But I often feel like there is this amicable distance between me and my Sag friends. And I dated a Sag, and it was completely, I was on page A, he was on page B. It wasn't a good scene. Okay, so past life relationship, you have known each other before, karmic relationships for the next 2 months. So I definitely won't be dating a Sag over the next 2 months. Let's take a look at, and hopefully, I don't know if you guys are down for karmic relationships. I'm not. Let's take a look here. It's heavy. It's really beautiful energy right now. It's like very, very water, super water. It's good. Okay, so now we have the Clover. Or maybe, see, I always think of, okay, then we have the Scythe. There's our karmic relationship right there. And the Garden. So, breaking away from good luck and seeking opportunity elsewhere, seeing all the possibilities that are before you, or they are, I feel like maybe in the past, one person left the other person and sought out other opportunities, and likewise now it's inverted. So if you were the one who was left behind, you have most likely the opportunity to leave someone behind and go mingle, or if you had left someone behind, you might meet a Sag who now, cancels out something and starts mingling elsewhere. Tit for tat energetically. That's what they say about karma is a BIT, right? That's what it feels like. We have the Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Working on some business. There's that Sag energy, the Temperance card. And the Five of Swords. So there's going to be this feeling of like, where did it go wrong? Avoid Sag. I mean, if you are with a Sag, just don't get in too deep with that energy. Just don't dive in too deep with that energy. You have a high chance of one or both people of getting hurt. And between Virgo and Sag, very rarely is it a contentious relationship with like you know, anger or something else. There's a lot of disappointments. There's a lot of like, you know, it didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? You know, well, it's Virgo and Sag, you know, yeah. So, but amicable and admirable of each other's qualities. But I feel as though there's a disconnect there, and it manifests through behaviors and experiences, right? So the experiences that you're having over the next 2 months bring forward the opportunities or lack thereof. Okay, so next we're gonna have the Capricorn. Capricorn's having, I should do Capricorn today. Capricorn's having an intense time with everyone, Virgo. It's a trine to you, so usually you can be a mediator for your Capricorn friends. Sun, moon, rising, particularly moon. I feel like Capricorn moon is under, because, well, dark moon Lilith is in Capricorn, but so is Mars. By March 17th, Mars is moving into Capricorn. This is your fun house. So Capricorns kind of ironically provoke you to fun. Or like, it's hard to say. And even with Saturn there, you know, like you know, a stick on a log or something. Yeah, I don't even know. Chemistry though. You know, with Saturn and Mars and Pluto, deep chemistry with Capricorn is possible. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. You know, they have these nice figures, those Capricorns. They really do. They're very muscular, you know, if you like that toned physique. If you're dating women, they're usually quite slim, you know, robust in some way, you know, what big or small, they have like a strong body type. And we have the lady. So there could be a lot of kind of attraction. And the man. Ooh. And then we have the moon. Hoping for like bigger things to come. It's like almost like you and your Capricorn are sitting on a bench in a park. Your heads are slightly tilted towards one another. You're looking at all these people walking by under these kind of funky transits in April. And you're like, you know, we'll wait it out. We'll wait and see. Virgo and Capricorn waits really well, you know. So that if you are down with Capricorns, then, you know, that might be something that's really good for you, especially if you have Virgo rising. You know, that Capricorn energy is really good for you. So we have the 8 of Wands coming into your life, bringing love into your life, appreciation. We have the Tower, maybe watching the things happen as they go by. And then we have insight. So the world's going to change. You guys are kind of looking towards things. Maybe for some of you, you're going in 2 separate directions. Maybe the woman initiates some kind of, you know, gesture, and the man's like, nope, shut down. You know, maybe the man is looking towards some other direction. The High Priestess isn't really good in love. She's kind of like Neptune for men. You know, she's like the siren, the beautiful siren singing on the rocks that call the fishermen out to sea onto the rocks to capsize their boats, right? So it's that illusionary thing. So there's a little bit of danger in that relationship. So if you're dealing with a Capricorn, or if you're a Capricorn dealing with a Virgo, be cautious. If it feels safe, like that bench and sitting on a bench watching people go by, great. But if you're starting to feel like something's not actually grounded, most likely you're dealing with a High Priestess energy that's drawing you away from something good. Lilith in Capricorn. Capricorns, I don't feel like I feel sympathy for your circumstances. Aquarians and Virgo. Aquarius and Virgo don't see eye to eye. They're like 2 different worlds. I know my moon's in Aquarius, okay? One of the hardest things to reconcile within my personality. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Although I'm happy that I'm Aquarius moon, you know? So love yourself first, okay? Challenging yourself. There's more ahead. If you've had some issues with an Aquarius, this is like confirmation that it might not be the end of the road, even though now you feel like it is. At the end of April, stay away from Aquarius. Don't provoke. you know, particularly with conversations between March 17th and the April 15th, or March 22nd, sorry, and April 15th. Mercury is retrograde and sextiling Aquarius. So definitely keep it on the low. Up till March 22nd, fine, talk to the Aquarius. Between March 22nd, end of April, no. You gotta, no. So we have the tree, and then we have the ring. Ooh, long-term commitment, and the rider. Somebody coming in. Love yourself first. Going after the big prize. Maybe there's this also maybe tradition. So one of the people in the relationship are seeking traditional things that reflect their family values, that kind of stuff. Ironically, that can be the Aquarius, who are supposed to be all innovative and fresh-faced and new, but not necessarily. They get successful that way. Then we have the Temperance card. Sagittarius is sticking its nose everywhere, and I don't know why. Get your nose out of everybody's business, or everybody's getting married. This is another reason for this card, but yeah, long-term things. Wheel of Fortune, Virgo. There we go. Here's some good news. And the Eight of Pentacles. So somebody might just ignore a relationship with an Aquarius to look towards work, or possibly there could be a ignore a situation, and then that creates separation. If you're already in a relationship, you're drawing away from one another, but there's good opportunities here. The tarot is good, the astrology not so good. How about that? Okay, so the tarot is pretty good for you and your Aquarius. Good luck, opportunity. Some of you are drawing a closer commitment. Congratulations. If you guys can find yourselves and find a rhythm between the two of you, that's great. I've spent like my entire life trying to find a rhythm between my sun and my Aquarius. Very difficult, because Aquarius is like jazz. They switch the tempo up all the time, right? Okay. Next, Pisces. So Pisces really giving you a really holistic experience. Fulfilling, holistic, transcendent, divine, gentle, beautiful. I think so. I think it's meant to give you a thumbs up, you know? It's meant to give you a positive reinforcement, sympathy, and then we have this energy. So if you're dating a Pisces right now, Virgo, there you go. And if you're forming any type of partnerships, friendships, or have relationships with a Pisces, it's all full steam ahead based on this card. There you go. Hey girl, hey. Soulmate card. It only came up once before. Yeah. And then we have some Lenormand cards. We have the dog, friendship, true friendship, and heart. Listen, I'm here. And the clover. You're vibing. Other people may front. Other people may get jealous of this friendliness, of this connection. But it's like, so Chiron was in your 7th house for like a long time, like a bunch of years, like 5 or 6 years, maybe even 8 years. And now it's leaving. So it's like anything that you did to piss off Pisces energy, you've kind of learned the lessons freshly over. So you're as good as you can be in terms of your relatability to Pisces. So you're probably the least annoying at this time that you could possibly be, if that makes sense. So you've reconciled your relationship with Piscean energy as much as possible through March and April. So it's kind of like a pinnacle point. And that's the astrology, but the tarot is telling us, you know, friendship leads to love and good luck. And, you know, that doesn't mean that Pisces is the only answer for you, but it's a really understanding transit. And then also the Scorpio energy is facilitating that, right? Scorpio is helping you give form to who you are, all the little parts of who you are, and Pisces is in some way mirroring that. So it's almost like you are a scattered image of particles, right? And Scorpio is helping you group all that together into some kind of framework, and Pisces is reflecting or mirroring that whole totality and shooting it right across the chart at you, so you can see the wholeness of your being, right? So this is the connection there. It's pretty decent, although at the end of April you may want to take a step back, because Scorpio, not Piscean energy, is going to be, you know, but the Pisces energy is going to decrease through April. It's not going to be as intense. That's okay, but it's at a high point in March. Okay, 9 of Rods, and what are you? Okay, 7 of Swords, and 3 of Pentacles. So I feel as though, like, really being responsive, receptive. This is like the gentleness of taking a step back in situations, understanding boundaries. The 9 of Wands, one of my favorite cards. What are the boundaries of things? What can you do to make other people feel comfortable in love, friendship, like heart-based matters, right? 7 of Swords can be very courteous, right? It can be knowledgeable of what other people want and cognizant and responsive to what other people want. What if he's sneaking out of the house because he went to visit a Pisces, not in some kind of, you know, way, but what if they had a sleepover and they know that Pisces has to work in the morning, so Virgo's piecing out because going to work or whatever else and being quiet, or vice versa, right? Like it's that consciousness level, right? So there's this responsiveness here. And then that's going to inspire towards work, applying yourself. When you have good friends around you and you have good support, good luck follows, right? That's a big part of it. And it's hard to listen to when you don't have those things. But when you do have those things, then it's a blessing. Yeah. I mean, what can you say to someone who doesn't have it? Somebody told me it's their birthday today and they don't know anyone, and that's really hard because we do live in a time when people are really alone, and you can still make it on your own. So I'm not being one of those people that, like, if you don't have great people besides you, you'll get no. Amazing. Einstein was on his own, like he was carving his own way. So a lot of very, very successful people, you know, Tesla, like very successful people did amazing things without a gang, right? But when you do have people who are supportive of you, it can be very helpful. Okay, Aries and Virgo. Just so you don't feel lonely if you're a Pisces or if you are a Virgo watching, or Aquarius, you know, hanging out after I read for, just in case you're, you know, feeling a certain kind of way. You can do it on your own, but it's nice when you have a good quality friendship or relationship to support you. Then we have Aries. Calling in your soulmate. Yeah, big changes. Totally different vibe than Pisces. Aries is like flick of the light switch. There you go. Boom, bye. Go for it. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help to bring you two together. Aries is going to put like the pedal to the metal in your relationship. He's going to be just like boom, boom, boom. Go for it. Move your arse, Virgo. Get it done. Get it done. Okay. Here we go. We have the letter. Messages. They're going to be very matter of fact. Yeah. Issues of prominence. The man is going to see a solution in the whole situation and set a direction or a course of action. So whether it's a Virgo or whether it's the Aries, there's going to be like, go do this now. There's going to be that kind of information sharing. Okay, so let's take a look. Here we have the 3 of Swords. So it's going to be hard to hear at first. It's going to be like, how dare you? How dare you say this to me? You know? But I feel like once the information sets in, it's going to be helpful. See, this is, or maybe you're wallowing in your butt hurtness a little bit, And so maybe a Aries person comes in with some good news, you know, kind of giving an option. And you pick up your socks and you grind. There you go. So maybe it's a quick switch that you have to take, a quick direction change, but you have to do it, right? Okay. All right. So now we're going to take a look at Taurus. So I said Taurus and Virgo, pretty fire right now. At the end of April, Taurus is under pressure. So you want to give them some room to breathe. But yeah, other than that, always good. Steady and good. Virgo and Taurus. Friends to the end. Okay, let's see. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Channeled message. There may be a Taurus in the past that kind of haunts you because of the situations that you had gone through with them. The conversations that you had were unfortunate. Done. March and April over. No more haunting. No more ghosts. We've called in Ghostbusters. Let's take a look at your Lenormand cards. We have the clouds. We have the cross. And then we have the mountain. So pick up your socks, move forward. Taurus will allow for everything to happen. Venus is in Taurus from March 7th until late April. So this is going to be like very, like, if you need to say something to a Taurus, this is the time to do it. Clearing of the path, recognizing your responsibilities. You guys both like this, you know, Virgo and Taurus. It's not like an intimidating, and Capricorn. This is why we may annoy all the other signs. We like our religion, but more seriously, we like our responsibilities. You know, we find grounding in the responsibilities, and we honor those responsibilities as signs, so it's easier for us to relate to one another. Virgos, Tauruses, and Capricorns. 5 of Swords. There was a misunderstanding in the past. Maybe some tough luck to get over it, feeling burdened by it. But I feel like you're going to end the shit show that I said was happening, and you're releasing the energy with Taurus. Now, Taurus can help you do that, or they're going to be the person who's being released. You know, negativity release. It's one of the biggest blessings that a person can give you, right? Whatever the nature of your relationship with them is, if they take off your burdens, you know, from your shoulders, if they help you to cleanse out some karma so that you can move forward in a more sustainable or happy way, great. Venus is moving into Gemini on the end of April. This is going to greatly improve your relationship with Gemini. And yeah, just as long as you keep your Gemini away from the Capricorn. And it may not be the same Capricorn energy. Just look out for Capricorns. And it's just the intensity. You'll be able to measure it and recognize it, right? So here's Venus, and you stay optimistic about your love life. Not an easy relationship between Gemini and Virgo. Positive thinking and faith brings you romance. So just keep at it, you know. Just let them figure it out. Let them, you know, let them figure it out. Let them come to their decision. Let them come to their conclusions about things. They problematize situations so much that they drive themselves crazy, and it's almost like a Jenga block. They pull out all the Jenga blocks, and then like they pull them out so quick that they can't appreciate which one is going to make the structure infirm and which one is going to make the structure crumble. And so you have to let them go back and go over the holes in the Jenga block, or it's going to all fall apart. But look what came up. I'm not lying. So the ring, commitment, you know. I heard someone say something. I don't know if I should say which YouTuber, but it's pretty generic, and I hope he doesn't mind. If you hear this and you mind the fact that I'm mentioning it, just let me know and I'll cite you. But there was a YouTuber who said that two people can come into congruence. They don't necessarily have to get along in a workplace setting. Gemini is Virgo's 10th house, where they recognize that both people can make more money by agreeing to disagree and just politically get along, right? So as both people will, yeah. So we have, and I thought that that was probably pretty insightful, and that was a message for you guys. So even if you don't like the Gemini, then maybe it's an idea to be nice and hope for a better outcome for you separately, right? Yeah, it's almost like a divorce. And so the 9 of the bouquet, incentives, and you're almost there to where you're going. So why would you throw, all the gold over the boundary of your ship if you're almost reached your destination with them, right? So don't do self-destructive things. Keep positive. There's a good outcome for probably both of you in this. That's great. Okay. So we have the 4 of Cups. So there's some kind of incentive. This is an offer. So the sneaky mice end up being a good thing. There's an offer being made. Sorry, it's getting a little dark, but we're almost done. And then we have the moon, hidden feelings, like biting your lip, sucking it up. Page of Swords, somebody new is coming in. You may even get a new idea, sparked off in a new direction, something fresh. Why waste yourself with low vibration stuff when you can keep going on your direction and finding progress? Good message. Okay, next we have Cancer. Cancers and Virgos, my favorite. I'm Team Cancer, so if you're a Cancer watching this, I love you guys. I love you Virgos too, but I just think Cancer is really good for you sometimes. There's an edginess to Cancer. There's a don't mess with me kind of thing. Don't mess with me or you'll lose me. That's your Cancer. And Virgo likes that. They like that rule. Don't mess with me or you'll lose me. And Virgo pouts and is like, okay, baby. So we have healing family issues. Okay, 11th house. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Cancers allow Virgos a lot of sympathy and a lot of love. There's a lot of compassion, consoling energy, loving energy, where you can share and share your heart, share your experiences. Let's take a look here. So we have the Tower. Cancer's getting you ready for business. See, Cancer doesn't see it as a burden. They enjoy it. They see it as an opportunity to begin fresh things. Begin fresh things, to start new things. Your relationships with your children will benefit from having this Cancer around. Okay? This Cancer is helpful. Maybe helping you balance work and children. This could be a person for some of you who's like a daycare provider also. It doesn't have to be romance. And then we have the moon, okay? Not sure about your position at work. There's some kind of incentive being offered. And then making some drastic changes possibly in the world. Maybe being a call to action, completion of design, helping you put everything together. The Cancer's helping you put everything together. Or maybe the Cancer is healing their family circumstances and you're there to help them through it. It's reciprocal relationship between Virgo and Cancer. It's a sextile. Sextiles are good. Sextile's good, square's bad. Okay. So we see Leo. And not all across the board. And of course we have Sun, Moon, Rising, various, intensities also. Okay, so Leo. Leo. We have reconciliation, making up for the past. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Leo knows who this person is if it's not the Leo. That's what the Leo's job is for you. They help and for you to understand why that person is back. Leo could be your advisor. They could be your eyes watching your back, that kind of thing. Then we have the Fox, okay? Sneaky Miss or Mr. Fox, Garden. It's it's easier to hide in a crowd. That's what I'm getting from the fox in the garden and then the ship. Easier to hide in the crowd as you make a decision about a direction. You know, you may not be able to see that person through, but I think that they're making their way over. Or you and the Leo are, you know, kind of being friends. And so being friends again, yes. Three of swords. Whoa. Hoping for some, you've been very intellectual and you've been very rational about waiting for someone to come into your life, someone to in some way bring in what you've been waiting for. And I feel like you've been playing a lot of intellectual games with yourself to frame how to wait enough time for that person to come in. Then there's the Empress. So it's almost like a first past the post, the winner takes the flag. There's like, that's the trophy, the Empress, right? And amid the crowd is the Empress. Likewise, amid the crowd is a fox. And the fox represents someone who's predatory. Just so you guys see that again. And then we have the Eight of Rods. Good messages coming through about good people coming in. So yeah, you and the Leo getting good. They have your back. I feel that strongly. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. And yeah, thank you for watching. I haven't been reading the comments just so I can like focus in. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful March and April. Thank you for all my mods to be here, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.